shouldn't have.
Sure. Well, then maybe that came later. Their initial reaction is actual terror. Like, actually, maybe we're here to grab them and run away or something. I'm going to be telling you a story about young love, about a first job, about excitement over the possibility of sitting near a girl in high school, about overcomplicated plans that end hilariously and also quite terrifyingly in both failure and near-death experience, and the hard-to-explain series of decisions that led me and my high school best friend to almost kill a girl completely by accident. Where did this begin? My high school best friend, Dave, and I were hanging out in his basement doing the only thing that we did other than video games and work at our part-time jobs. No, not that. Which was play ping pong and lament about girls. I don't know if anyone else had this, probably not ping pong. We would literally, he had a ping pong table, but that was like what the ping pong table was for. And I don't know why. And it's a very clear and strict rule that we followed, but we're playing ping pong, talking about girls. And recently Dave had begun working at a new job at the movie theater, which is a great job. It's a lot of free movies thanks to Dave, but a lot of people go to the movie theater, and while we're playing ping pong, hanging out, he gets a text from one of his coworkers that this girl, the girl that he currently would not stop talking about, Jessica, was seeing a movie, had just walked in, gotten their tickets, and one of our creepy friends at the movie theater was like, hey, she's here. And sent him a text. And so we got this information, right?
You guys had a whole team on this.
Yeah, well, it's hard to date, okay? You gotta have takes a lot of effort.
I'm trying to keep track of everything. There's Jessica just walked in. What is the name of this creepy friend?
Can we call him I don't know, Kyle or something?
Sure, Kyle's about right.
All right.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Kyle works at the movie theater and sweeps up the popcorn after the
you know what?
Over,
that
right?
can be confirmed. Every movie theater has a Kyle, so we have decreed.
Okay, so we get the text from Kyle, the movie theater, creepy guy. Says, not only is Jessica my friend's love interest seeing a movie, she's seeing a movie with a friend who is the girl that I myself at that point in time would not shut up about. It's perfect, right?
What's your love interest name in this?
Melissa.
Yeah, what's the name? Melissa, okay.
Jessica and Melissa.
My best friend's love interest is at the movies with her best friend, my love interest. It's a love quadrangle. How do you say that word? Quadrangle. Quadrangle?
I think it's just a square.
It's a parallelogram. Could be anything.
Could be. You're right.
Trapezoid.
Square is a parallelogram, but a parallelogram does not have to be a square.
Ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth?
You and your friend do sound like squares in this. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got all the information now. The plan is obvious, right? Do you not see how this has to play out? Clearly, what we had to do was, step one, gather a posse, obviously.
Yep.
So we gathered the boys, if you will, our other friends.
So gang hit. Got it.
Yep. We had to rush to the grocery store to pick up some flowers and chocolates. We head to the theater to stake out the car and then ambush them with love and appreciation as they exit the theater to get into their vehicle and drive back home.
Meanwhile, hey, Jessica, you want to go see a movie today? Yeah, Melissa, that sounds great. I can't wait. I just want to get away, just enjoy a movie, maybe go hang out afterward.
Just the two of us. Just casual, no drama. They had no idea.
I'm imagining this went well, but again, I don't want to get ahead of myself.
You don't know which part resulted in attempted murder, so don't draw any assumptions.
Beat them with the flowers, accept my love.
This brings us to Act 2, obviously, the preparation. Now it's time to take action. There's a time clock on this. We know which movie they're seeing, when it was, how long the movie is. Our posse of friends that we gathered are the Stevens. One named Steven with a V, one named Steven with a PH. So there's four of us. We pile into my friend Dave's Honda Civic, and this next part plays out like an action movie. This is why the posse needs to be here, right? You gotta keep the car running. You gotta have logistics. You gotta have people in charge. So Dave and I are in the front seat. Stevens are in the back seat, and we're driving, totally following the speed limit, totally being safe. We're driving to the grocery store, and the Stevens are in the back. One of them we call Steven, and one of them is Steve, which helps differentiate, but also is sort of indicative of their personality. Steve is the gossip. Steve is the one texting updates with Kyle, did they leave early? No? Okay. Keeping the subjects in sight, keeping our intel fresh. Steven is the one staring at his watch on the minute, every minute is 28 minutes. from right now, we need to be in that parking lot. That'll give us, 15 minutes to find the car, find a spot, get a good angle, and he's sitting there just staring at his watch, just waiting. So we get to the grocery store. We run into the store. We've never bought this stuff before. Neither of us realized until we got inside, we're losers, right? We haven't really dated people to this point. Never bought flowers for someone or chocolates. Never gone to the part of the store that's set up for desperate losers trying to impress a girl sort of area. Don't know where that is.
So she bought chocolates, flowers, and a 50-pack of condoms, I'm guessing.
Magnum XLs, baby.
Standards, yes, absolutely standard.
Extra small.
Extra small magnums.
I wonder if anyone's ever creepily stalked or planned an ambush for me anywhere close to what you guys did for this group.
How many ambushes have you avoided
Yeah.
narrowly?
How many people's elaborate posse murder love plans have I just barely dodged? Probably zero.
And finally, after running around the store, looking like weirdos, we're fully loaded. Chocolates, flowers, extra small condoms, ready to go. The movie theater is not super far away, but we're back in the car, and it's all right, 8 minutes to the theater, and we're about 5 minutes away. Everything's on time. Steven is happy. Steve is updating us. They're still in the movie. Everything is fine. Kyle has not seen them go to the bathroom. He is watching them like a hawk.
I don't know if I'd be honored someone liked me that much, or if I'd be really weirded out or creeped out. I don't know how I'd feel.
Well, you don't need to worry about it because no one's that obsessed with you. Continue, Bob.
All
I
right.
could answer for you definitively, Wade. It's creepy. But anyway,
It is creepy.
we're very responsibly and safely driving to the movie theater. We get there, right? Okay, so Act 3, the payoff, the action. We're here.
Yeah.
This is going to sound worse than it is. Dave happens to know which car is theirs. He knows
That doesn't sound too bad.
which car his beloved Jessica drives. And
His beloved. Yeah,
That sounds worse than knowing what car they drive.
Sorry. Go ahead. His beloved Jen.
And so we're scouting, we find the car, we circle around, we find an angle where we can park the Stevens so they can kind of see the action, because they've been with us this far. You don't want to leave the Stevens parked off in the corner somewhere like a-holes.
Yeah, no.
You want them to be able to witness
Your greatness.
the great success that is about to happen, all this effort that we've put into coordinating this massive effort. So yeah, we get everything situated. We're sitting in the car. It's like a perfect TV show thing where it's from our car, it's sort of through one row. There's a perfect little window between the parked cars and a light. Literally, it's nighttime. It's like a weekend evening. In the dark night, their car, an orange car, by the way, has a beacon on it, at this bright focal point. But basically, we get the Stevens all set up. And then at some point, Dave and I are okay, well, we don't want to just be sitting here. If they come out earlier than we think or something, or maybe we have the timing off, we don't want to get out of our car and run at them. That's terrifying. Someone jumps out of a vehicle and charges you in the parking lot. That's like a kidnapper or something, right? That's bad. So we're we'll casually, with our huge bouquets of flowers and oversized boxes of chocolate, get out of our car and sort of skulk, I guess is the word I would use to describe it. Sort of pick a spot where they can't see us because it's a surprise, obviously. They can't see us. We're hidden. Turns out that light bleeds a lot. It shows a lot of area. So I think we were we'll pick a discreet spot. It'll be fine. Luckily, the car that the girls are driving is this big truck sort of thing, like an SUV. It's tall. It hides us pretty well. I think if a family that was going to see a Pixar movie drove past this location in the parking lot that night, they would have looked off to the side and seen me. I was as big as I am now then. A huge 6'4" big dude with his very short friend standing in the middle of a parking lot with some stuff, obviously holding something, I guess flowers maybe. But if you drive by that, how bad does that look?
Yeah, if I drove by that, I would think there was some shenanigans afoot and we'd go to a different theater.
I'm looking back on this though, right? And I don't feel good about this choice specifically. Of all the choices we made, this choice to lay in wait for what was essentially, I guess, our prey, to jump out at two unsuspecting people. It's a questionable
No, this
plan.
could only lead to true love.
Yeah, well, maybe it did. Maybe one of these girls is actually Mandy.
Oh,
Look, so we're standing here. It was probably maybe 10 minutes, which is a long time to lurk in a parking lot. But we're standing there and it feels like forever, right? It's a combination of feeling kind of uneasy about where we are, the choices we've made, how this looks, but also we're about to ask a girl on a date, which is terrifying. Like, it's as for high school me, I had never really done that. It's not successfully done that. And it was a lot. And we're standing there like, hearts aflutter, murder muscles really getting warmed up. So we're waiting forever.
Yeah.
And finally, peeking through the, you can sort of look through the windows of a car. We're peeking around the edges, lurking, if you will. Finally, they round the corner. So they're coming, they're making their way to the back parking lot. We sort of huddle. We're like, they're coming. Oh my God. And we're looking at each other, and Dave and I, collectively, we have this conversation that's like, don't jump out too early. Don't give them any warning. Make sure they're nice and close so they can't run, Make sure that they get close enough. And we're like, yeah, that's the plan. Obviously, all of this is obvious. And finally, they get close enough. Jessica's digging for her car keys. They're sort of finally arrived at the car, and we're like, yes. And we take our big step out from behind the car, presenting the flowers so proudly. And I think everyone knows what their reaction is.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Sure. Well, then maybe that came later. Their initial reaction is actual terror. Like, actually, maybe we're here to grab them and run away or something, or take their purse and punch them in the face.
Yeah.
They look terrified, which is not surprising from this perspective. Dave and I are taken aback by their terrified look, and we're like, no, wait a minute. This is a perfect plan. This isn't scary. This is charming. We're expressing how much we care about them. They should be blown away with love and entrancement. Is that a word?
Yeah,
Entrapment?
sure. Oh,
Sure.
yeah, entrapment. I think you're getting there.
Yeah. Well, so they look scared. Dave and I look at each other and realize, like, oh, you know what? Maybe there were some flaws. But we're here. We've done it. It's a surprise. Everything will be fine. But at this point, like, Melissa's kind of like scared, but realized that it's us and it's probably fine. Jessica doesn't look scared anymore, but she looks like she's having trouble. Like, she looks like she might faint or collapse. Mm-hmm. And unbeknownst to us, despite the amount of love in his heart for this person, Dave had no idea, and I had no idea because I didn't know her very well. Jessica has a serious heart condition. She's I don't know what the medical condition is, but she has a serious heart health condition, and extreme surprises are bad for her and may cause her heart to stop beating. So anything that's terrifically shocking, jarring, terrifying is potentially deadly to this person.
Okay.
And so we didn't know that. And we don't know how to help. So she just sort of begins having cardiac distress and having trouble staying conscious. And she's the only one who knows at this point she needs to reach into her bag and get a bottle of medicine to take one of the pills that she has with her in case this comes up. But like, and I don't know, I imagine her friend who was with her probably had some clue since they're best friends maybe. But like, Dave and I are just standing there staring at this girl dying in front of us. We're not really sure. And our, nerves and excitement about asking these girls to go on a date turned suddenly to like actual terror on our parts. We don't know what happened, but apparently we've scared a person to death.
Why would you be worried?
That wasn't, so I've been selling it. Listen, I've been setting it up like, oh, it's a joke. We're going to kill this girl or whatever. We didn't mean to kill anyone.
Jesus Christ.
Believe it or not, based on the plan that we hatched and the decisions we made to execute that plan, our ultimate goal was not to kill this person. It was to secure a date or maybe a double date.
I feel like I'm watching a fucking true crime episode.
Yeah,
like, this
God.
is like the killer explaining how they got started.
No, I see the detective piecing all the evidence together. And they lurked. No, they skulked outside by the car with flowers for their grave.
We didn't mean to kill anybody, but we found we had a real taste for it.
So this is happening. She reaches into her bag. Somebody has a bottle of water, takes medicine. After maybe a solid 5 to 7 minutes of like terror and staring and waiting by me and Dave, everyone is fine. Jessica's fine. Melissa is pretty pissed off. She's fine. And so like everyone's fine. There's 4 of us standing there in the middle of this parking lot. By the way, the Stevens must have had a hell of a show. I'm a little surprised they didn't come running out of the car trying to figure out, or like hop in the front seat and drive away. I don't know what the Stevens were doing
They were
or
coming
thinking,
up with their
but
alibi as you
Yeah.
were out there, like, okay, they kidnapped us too.
nobody saw us at the grocery store with them. Maybe we were at home. Maybe we were in my basement.
They knew about the heart condition the whole time. They wanted this to happen.
Yeah, I don't know, but they must have had a hell of a show. So the four of us are standing there. So everything's fine. Everyone's alive. At this point, Dave and I are like, okay, everyone's good. Let's do what we came here for.
The mood is set.
Everything has gone according to the plan. It's time to ask these girls on a date. I will say, I will release a little more context at this point. My friend Dave and his interest, Jessica, have some history at this point. They have not dated, but I think she is aware that he likes her, and he thinks that maybe she likes him back. Between me and Melissa, it's a much more unspoken amount of interest. Utterly unspoken.
How much
you could
unspoken?
say.
How many
I
words?
know her and have seen her at like parties or at, in band practice. I've seen her interact with other people. I may have talked to her directly once prior to this interaction. So mine was a real shot in the dark. Mine was like, you seem cool. You seem awesome. I like you. Maybe you like me. But Dave's is like a real, think this has a shot. I'm going to ask this girl out, finally. So everyone's alive. Everyone calms down a little bit. Dave looks into Jessica's eyes and is like, hey, we've been hanging out a lot. I think you're really cool. We have a really good time together. I know this didn't go. I was hoping this would be more surprising and romantic and not like death-defying and terrifying. But like, look, I wanted to ask you on a date. Like, I got you these flowers and these chocolates. You can have those. That's just a gift. I just wanted to ask you if maybe we could go out and have dinner. Like, really nice. David is a sweet guy. He asked her out. Super nice. And she takes the flowers and sort of looks down. And very thoughtfully, she's like, you know what? I do have fun with you, but I think we're just friends. Like the classic letdown. And it's a big bummer. But that was always an option. And she was super nice about it. And so that all plays out. And now it's my turn. And so this has all happened, and I look directly at Melissa, and I'm like, I hold out the flowers and the chocolate silently, and I look at her, and I'm like, you date? And she doesn't take the flowers or the chocolate. She doesn't say anything. She locks eye contact with me, slowly shakes her head no, and then just proceeds to get her friend into the car so they can leave.
Okay, all right, great.
So not equivalent responses, but not equivalent, pretext between the two interactions. I don't think Melissa's treatment of me was particularly unfair. Could have been nicer.
Yeah, given the situation, I think she was definitely overreacting to everything.
Yeah,
that
I
went
don't
down.
blame her for, maybe being a little taken aback and angry at me directly about what had happened just then. But
it's not like she was the one who was dying on the ground.
She was fine.
Yeah, she was
fine the whole time.
And the one who was dying sent the other person into the friend zone. You're not even in the friend zone, which is better?
Yeah.
Good? It's good.
Means I can circle back.
Yeah.
Give it another shot.
Yeah.
It's not too late.
We can plan it out.
Anyway, 2 shots fired, no dates acquired.
Okay.
Chocolate.